Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. So today we are going to do Leetcode daily challenge squares of a sorted array. So let us first read this question, then about constraint, and then finally the coding part for the same. So now here we can see it is easy level question, right? So as per the easy level question, the constraint would be surely low, and even it would be a straightforward question. Might be some twist could be there, but still mostly it would be a straightforward question. So here, given an integer array nums sorted in a non-decreasing order, return non-decreasing order simply represents that it could be increasing as well as the elements could be equal as well. Means it is increasing and even there could be some elements which are equal. So that refers by non-decreasing. So given an integer array num sorted in non-decreasing order, return an array of squares of each number sorted in non-decreasing order. So basically, the thing is that they're already in non-decreasing order, but there are some negative elements as well, right? And the thing is that we are required to return square of each element, and that also is required to be returned in non-decreasing order. So pretty straightforward approach would be that we just iterate this particular, right, and then do the square of each element and then sort them again, so it will become n log n solution. But see, here constraints are also up to 10 raised to power 4, right? So if we go ahead with n log n solution, that it will surely work because it will go up to 10 raised to power 6 only when it becomes n log n. And nums of I are basically negative as well as positive, and num is already sorted non-decreasing order. And here follow up is a squaring each element as sorting the new array is very trivial, right? That is a brute force. But could you find any solution which is order of n solution using a different approach, right? So now first thing is let us try with the trivial method itself. Then we'll go ahead with optimize method. So you can clearly see here I've done here. So basically I've taken a new array, right? And then I'm iterating and pushing whatever elements are there by doing the square into my this new array and then sorting them and then returning my result. So basically in that context it becomes of time complexity order of n log n, right? And the space complexity, if we consider this particular space, then it becomes order of n, else it will be order of 1. Now let us go ahead with a different type of approach, means making it order of n solution. Then how we can do that? Let us go ahead with that. Okay, चलो अब बात आती है कि हम बेसिकली इसे ऑर्डर ऑफ n में कैसे करेंगे, right? So in that context, now the main thing here is about this negative numbers, और ये already non decreasing order में है ही, right? So because it is already non decreasing order and there are some negative numbers, and because of that only that non decreasing order gets disturbed when we do square of that -1 -4, right? Because when we do square of a negative number it becomes positive, and because of that the array will become 4 1 0 3 10. So if we think this solution in such a manner that whatever negative number which is there, right, so the thing is that if we adjust their places at the starting only, not by sorting, but by using some pointers, if we just adjust the places and then get the result, these are squares, right? So in that context we can go ahead with the solution without even using sorting and it will become order of n. I hope you got some clue that we are required to just adjust their places. Means basically -4 is here, so when it becomes 4 means absolute values of a particular number, we need to adjust those places. So for that purpose, let us start, means without coding also, so that you yourself could code, right? See. So now this -4 and -1, right? So now if we devise a solution which will just check start and end, so which absolute value. So here who is less? 4 is less than 10, right? So 10 is basically at its right position, right? So as it is at its right position, so we will move towards the left only. I'm not doing a binary search, that is also thing. And now we have this minus 4 and 3. So absolute value, who is bigger? 4 is bigger, right? Than 3. So now in our result, what we would be storing? So here in our result, already this 10 was stored. Now in our result, means first 10 square was stored. Now 4 square would be stored. That would be the thing in our result. Now, because we have already processed with the 4, so we will be moving ahead at minus 3 and 3. Now we will be comparing this 3 and minus 3 and 1, right? So now who is lesser? 1 is lesser, right? So 3 is basically now its correct place. So that's why we will be putting 3 square here. Now because it was processed, so we will be moving ahead at 0 and 1. So now out of 0 and 1, who is greater? 1 is greater, right? So that's why we will be taking 1, means basically it would be here, right? Now only one element is left, that is the 0. So we will be directly writing 0 square, and that is how our answer would be, and that is what is required to be returned. So basically the thing is we will be comparing two numbers with each other, basically their absolute values, and we will be writing our code in such a manner that after processing that we'll move ahead. So the solve would be possible with the help of two pointers, because all these things, means this logic which we are required to implement, it would be implemented with the help of two pointers. So in that context, now you can write a code. Means basically either just pause this video and write your code and then come back if it doesn't work. If it works, then it's fine. Then you can come at the last for time complexity and space complexity. That is the thing. Now we have the main logic, means what we are required to implement. So now let us go ahead and start implementing it. So let us start. So this I've commented. Now here, first we require basically start point, right? Start would be 0, end point that would be this is this nums dot size minus 1. So let us just take int equals to nums dot size. Okay, nums dot size, that minus 1 thing we'll handle here only, n minus 1. Cool. This now here it is vector, we are required to treat it as an array. So in that context, array. Cool. Now in position equals to n minus 1. Basically, because there are two pointers are required, but also we need to keep the cat, basically keep that particular position of our this result, right? So for that purpose we will maintain one more position, means one more pointer for our position. So that's the thing, and we will be starting from the last, means whatever greater is there, that will be, we will be putting at the last. That's the thing. Now let us start with our two pointer stuff. So now we will be taking start less than end. If we take this, right? So this will work in even arrays, right? But what about this array itself, which is odd, right? So there we less than equals to, it's fine. I means less than is fine. But if it is equals to, so it would be at this 0 point as well. Means basically when five numbers are there, so at the third position, both of those pointers are required to be staying, right? So that's why we require equals to. Now Okay. As I told earlier, we'll start ahead by comparing them. If the absolute value of my starting means this -4 and the end value that is 10, right? So here the 10th one, the 10th which is there, that is greater, right? So in greater scenario, what we are required to do? We already have it at our right position, right? So that's why we'll go ahead with position. And here only we'll do the subtraction part, so that because anyhow we are required to move towards the left, means towards the starting point in our result, right? So that's the thing. Here only we are doing it because we will be getting our answer here. So now, nums of end. After doing that part, now we can do end minus minus. Or the thing is, we can do that here as well. Because anyhow, it will first calculate the square and then do end minus minus. But for better understanding, let us do here only, right? This is that favorable scenario that it is already as at its position and we don't need to do anything else. Now, this is that non-favorable scenario when we are required to check, means when this 4 is basically greater than this, right? So in this scenario, what we are required to do, same, right? And then in this scenario, we will take the start into nums of start, and then here we'll do start plus plus because we have processed that start, right? So now, like this, it will be able to do everything which is there, right? So after this, now anything else required? Just think by yourself, anything else is required here after all this? I don't think so, because everything would be handled here only. Here only we are decreasing the position, right? And here only we are doing every squaring part, right? So only thing that would be just returning the result. So now let us run this code. Oh, we were required to put comma. And if we submitted, so it gets submitted. Yeah, yep, it got submitted. So now comes the part for the time complexity and space complexity. So you can clearly see that this will run order of n time, and here position is already going in one direction. So here it won't be adding up to the time complexity. So the overall time complexity becomes order of n, and the space complexity here becomes order of 1. If we ignore that result part, means this. Else if we include it, then it is order of n only. So this was all for this particular solution. If you have any doubt, you could comment that down. And if you are good to go with it, and if you really like the solution and the way I explained it, then you can like, subscribe to my channel, and also share among your friends. So this was all. Thank you.